Er hätte doch Leben gerettet. Was wird das Kabinett wohl mit ihm machen?
My hope would be that whatever connections he's got to the outside world disappear. Make sure his future schemes and machinations stay in his cell with him. But honestly, I'm not sure. He's in a
Ja.
unique position and has done a special kind of harm to the colonies.
Werden sie ihn halt eingesperrt lassen. Sie werden nie seine Verbindung zur Außenwelt kappen können. Ich meine, er hat das jetzt schon so eingefädelt, dass es niemand gemerkt hat, obwohl er in diesem Hochsicherheitstrakt ist. Solange der lebt, wird die Versuchung für die UC da sein, ihn zu benutzen. Und sobald sie ihn benutzen, kann er seine Fäden wieder spinnen.
Exactly. Bring justice to everyone he's hurt. So I guess that gives us our final answer. Nothing left to do but head in and see what the cabinet thinks of it all. Unless there was more to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the Terramorphs.
Welche Risiken gibt es denn, wenn wir die Asylis zurückholen?
Asylis aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal. Using them to clean up the terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Asylis, we're at least dealing with known risks.
Ich finde das mit den Asylis eigentlich cool. Und es ist eine bessere Variante, glaube ich, als die Terramorphs mit der Mikrobe auszurotten. Weil wir quasi damit ja auch die Asylis ausrotten würden. Komplett. Die finden dann nichts mehr zu fressen, also es gibt sie noch. Die finden dann aber nichts mehr zu fressen. Und man rottet quasi gleich zwei Arten aus.
Captain!
Ja, Moment, ich denke noch. Und andererseits ist die Mikrobe halt wahrscheinlich effizienter und abschließender. Aber nicht unbedingt. Weil wenn die Mikrobe sich quasi nicht überall hin ausbreitet, wo die Terramorphs sind, dann können die immer wieder zurückkommen
Anything
und man
else we
muss
needed to discuss?
diese Mikrobe immer wieder neu einsetzen, weil die stirbt ja auch, sobald es keine Wirte mehr gibt. Und die Asylis breiten sich vielleicht dann auch an Gegenden aus, die die Menschen noch nicht auf dem Schirm haben. Weiß ich nicht. Mal schauen.
It's hard to know. Unlike my father, the cabinet aren't butchers. But killing UC citizens, along with everything else he's done, is unforgivable. But if you're really that concerned, you could request they be lenient. They might be willing to spare him.
Nee, mir ist es eigentlich nicht wichtig, dass sie ihn verschonen.
They are.
Microbe needed minimal adjustment to account for heat leech anatomy.
And the Asylis seem like they're even better at tracking leeches than morphs.
Hell of a sight to watch, though, when they catch them. Like an open airlock guzzling angry spaghetti. Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math. And a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet weigh in. See if they have a preference.
Ah, ich bin für die Acilis. Weil man kann quasi den Pilz, es sind nur auf Londinium, wenn man den abschottet, dann ist die Gefahr ja eigentlich gebannt. Und dann haben die Acilis Zeit, die Terromorphs zu fressen. Und selbst wenn irgendwo ein erwachsener Terromorph auftaucht, na gut, die Mikrobe würde den auch killen. Naja, schauen wir mal.
Here we go.
Ich mag die Idee, eine fast ausgestorbene Spezies zurückzuholen. Ins Ökosystem. Hier ins Universum. Das passt, glaube ich, besser zu unserem Charakter auch. Hier, zum Joe. Ne?
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
Ist dieser zweite Bericht tatsächlich von...
This report comes from a particularly confidential source both you and I are familiar with, yes. Among the reasons its findings are so alarming. Now, is it true? Was the attack on New Atlantis planned?
Ja, war geplant, aber nicht so, wie es im Bericht steht. Das würde ich gerne sagen jetzt.
The second report claims to know the perpetrator as well. Did Reginald Orlays actually commit these attacks, Captain?
Ja, aber nicht alleine.
Orlays.
It's true, ma'am. I heard the recording myself. My father figured out how to use terramorphs as weapons.
He did what? That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now, that's quite the accusation you're leveling, considering Francois Sinon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
It just transformed. A terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this, and said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Victus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately.
Ja, dafür, dass sie so begeistert von ihm war am Anfang immer, tut sie jetzt aber sehr entrüstet. Das ist... Naja, okay. Da hat sie sich halt geirrt, ne? Könnte man jetzt meinen.
That will be up to the cabinet to decide. But I don't appreciate our mercy being taken advantage of.
Könnt ihr seinen Kontakt nach außen überhaupt kappen? Er hat UC-Funktionäre als Kommunikationsweg missbraucht.
That's truly disconcerting to hear. But cutting off Victus's contact with the outside world is likely to be just the beginning of his punishment.
Ich wundere mich ein bisschen, dass diese Gespräche, die man mit ihm hat, nicht aufzeichnen. Weil er hat ja quasi schon alles gestanden. Wenn man diese Aufzeichnung hätte, dann hätte man noch mehr Beweis quasi, dass er schuldig ist. Jetzt haben sie nur unser Wort und die andere Aufzeichnung von dem Planeten. So, eine Welt ohne Victus ist eine bessere Welt. Ich glaube schon.
I'm inclined to agree, Captain. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
Die Pflanze zu sichern reicht nicht, sie sollte vernichtet werden. Das werden die UC-Unternehmen und die Lazarus.
Well, luckily the natural hostility of Londinian makes keeping out trespassers relatively easy. But we'll ensure its growth is contained, that access to the plant is only permitted via highly regulated clearances, and that our troop presence on Londinian is increased.
Das gefällt mir aber nicht. Ich meine, die UC könnte ja auch in Versuchung geraten, die Pflanze als Waffe einzusetzen. Die anderen Fraktionen sollten beim Sichern eingebunden werden. Ja, schon.
Tell the Freestar Collective. Wow. So they have another tool to utilize against us?
I'm in agreement. I fail to see the value here.
Es würde dem Kollektiv zeigen, dass die UC nicht insgeheim plant, sie irgendwann einzusetzen.
Gather your thoughts and let's
Die
continue.
UC haben jetzt nicht besonders viel geleistet. Das würde für gutes Betragen sorgen, beiderseits. Ja, das stimmt. Finde ich aber auch. Bis jetzt vertuschen sie nur und versuchen alles geheim zu halten.
A show of good faith now would display a willingness to change. It would be seen as a sign that the secrecy and deception is behind you.
Oh, that is an interesting idea. A grand gesture to further display this cabinet doesn't think like those of the past.
The observers on Mars have proven such a gesture can bear fruit.
So, you want us to make nice with the collective by sharing our state secrets?
No, I want us to display plainly the UC's actual intentions, that the plant will never be used as a weapon again.
That does sound worthwhile, Chief Kulkarni. Very well. We'll get the collective involved in the management. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps. The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
Cool, wie viele Entscheidungen sie einfach so einem Außenseiter überlassen, ne? Warum kann man nicht beides probieren? Das verstehe ich halt nicht. Warum? Ich meine, die haben doch genug Ressourcen, oder? Sie könnten ja Wissenschaftler auf beides ansetzen, theoretisch.
These are topics of the utmost importance. Take your time.
Ich habe noch Fragen zu den Methoden. Habe ich noch Fragen zu den Methoden? Hallo Ausländer, bitteschön, die Entscheidungsgewalt des Präsidenten. Ja, das ist eine sehr offene, wie sag ich mal, Gesellschaft. Jeder Neuankömmling darf einmal Präsident sein. Für einen Tag. Oh, das wäre... Wäre mal ein interessantes Konzept. Würde wahrscheinlich nicht lange gut gehen.
We're waiting on you, Captain.
Oder es würde super gut funktionieren, ich weiß es nicht. Aber irgendwann kommt halt ein Idiot. Und dann ist kaputt. Was für Fragen kann ich denn noch stellen zu den Methoden?
Please, ask.
Was sind denn die Risiken für den Aseles?
I can feel this one. While intimidating creatures, certainly, Aseles are docile unless provoked. They're honestly closer to oversized mobile scanners than deadly predators.
The concern is that, while all proposed methods will be long-term efforts, the Aseles are the slowest. Slow to breed, slow to deploy. We do everything we could to accelerate that process, including mustering some of our mothballed cloning technologies. But if we do elect to use this method, we'll be doing things at the pace of a megafauna, which is not an expedient one.